Welcome to Whisky.com where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. This is my son Ben, and today we have a closer look at Tullamore D.E.W.
Like Mountain Dew.
No, Dew are the first letters of the name of the founder of Tullamore. It's Daniel E. Williams.
Daniel E. Williams, yes. Dew.
D.E.W. Yeah, Tullamore had been a distillery which closed, I think, around 1975, 1976. And I've seen those old Tullamore spirit pot stills on the roof of the old Kilbeggan distillery. There they are well oxidized, very greenish. So the brand of Tullamore went to the new Middleton distillery in the south of Ireland, Republic of Ireland, in the county of Cork. And there all the Irish distillers came together, built one distillery, because they had that big recession in the 60s, last century, so that they had to close all their distilleries in Dublin and around. So they started their production there, and Tullamore was one brand among a lot of others. And then these Irish distillers were sold to the French, Catholic country France, better than to the English. And after some decades, I think in the new millennium, a Scottish company, again Catholic, not Anglican Church, bought the Tullamore brand, and they built a new distillery which was reopened in 2014 or opened in 2014, so that Tullamore now has a new distillery in the town of Tullamore, in the southwest of Tullamore, just a few miles outside the city center. And in the city is the old Tullamore warehouse where the Tullamore Experience, the museum, is very impressive, lots of history. So that's history of that. So we now have a distillery producing Tullamore D.E.W, but this one is 18-year-old.
So it's too old.
It's too old.
But it's quite impressive. There are not that many Irish whiskies that are 18 years old, triple distilled, and have that kind of quality behind them. Because I've read the back, and it says it was matured in bourbon casks, or bourbon oak barrels, they say, and then finished in Oloroso sherry, port, and Madeira, and bourbon casks.
So quite a mixture.
Quite a mixture. That will be really fascinating. 4 types of finished casks and 18 years of age, triple distilled. That will be quite a remarkable experience.
And what the specialty is in the new Middleton distillery in Cork, where this whiskey should have been produced, they typically have a mixture of malted and unmalted barley for the triple distillation. So they do not produce single malt, and this one is a single malt. So there had been a time 18 years ago or 20 years ago, whenever, where they produced single malt on that equipment. And this is quite fascinating. Therefore, it might be a solitaire. So there are 2,500 bottles available worldwide of this 18-year-old. And I don't know if they produced that whiskey for a longer time. It's not that expensive. It's below 100 euros, dollars, pounds, and is 41.3 ABV. Probably that's cask strength, but it's not written on it, so probably not. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how it's going to be. For some reason, I think, might be really limited. But on the other hand,
they're producing big
really
amount.
a lot, big amounts. And in terms of legislation, I think it's a pot still whiskey. But writing single malt on it doesn't mean it has to be pot still whiskey.
No, but it says triple distilled, and column still is just one.
Column still counts as one distillation?
I think so. So they have the classical type of the quadratisch praktisch gut.
It's a square-shaped bottle.
Well, not square.
Rectangular shaped
bottle.
But it really looks like the the normal one that you get at the convenience stores.
Yeah. So the bottle is already opened because we had some failure in our equipment. And yesterday we had it the first time. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. So we have the bad luck to taste it again.
Really bad luck.
So 41.3, no need to dilute. And have a first sniff. Better than yesterday. It's a malty note with with a lot of fruits in it. So all those fortified wine casks are really sensible, really smellable. And in the background of this foreground smell is spiciness and already some oak. So it's complex. I can't figure out the different fruits I'm smelling in here. There's quite a maltiness in it.
I think, yes, it's really, really fruity. You do have a maltiness, you have a caramel taste in there, but the fruitiness is, extraordinary. And it's a very fresh fruitiness, a very, very sweet fruitiness. For me, it reminds me a bit on the fruity gums, like gummy bears with fruit juice. There's some like really premium ones. I don't really want to downgrade the whiskey by saying gummy bears, because usually you say when you can't say anything good and it's kind of sweety, then you say gummy bears. But this is a basket of fruit in a very sweet way, fresh, but also mixed with a few very ripe fruits.
Yeah, but there is the second feeling that there is some spiciness and some oak in it, so it's not completely sweet.
Yeah, you do realize it's an old one.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Gentle, smooth, with a touch of oak. And now I do have this. I didn't have that very sweet appearance in the nose, but now on my tongue there's the sweetness and some baked apples probably. And officially it said there's cinnamon in it, but no, I do not have that. Vanilla is there, long aftertaste, quite some residual sweetness, maltiness. Yeah.
There is a fruitiness to it that you know from the smell, but it's much more in depth. You do realize there's oak, there's spiciness to it, like baked apples with a little bit of cinnamon. There's a lot of oak in it, and it's quite intense in the strength over time. So it has a long finish.
So here I have the official tasting notes.
Do we admit them?
Rich and oaky with deep malty notes, caramelized fruits and woody spice. Taste velvety, smooth and mellow vanilla oak notes, intertwined with cinnamon, baked apple, toasted marshmallows, not gummy bears, marshmallows, and a biscuity sweetness. Finish rich and warming with a lingering malty sweetness. Yeah, that's it.
I agree with about half of it.
2/3 of that for me. It's okay.
But it's a nice one.
Yeah.
For just what was it, 80 euros or something like that? 90 euros. It's a good price.
It's one of the cheap aged whiskies from Ireland. On the other hand, Tullamore D.E.W isn't one of the more expensive whiskies from Ireland, so you can't have that big gap.
Yeah. It's not a very expensive brand, but I would say it's a good one. Maybe you shouldn't try the very, very bottom of it, but the 18 is a very enjoyable whiskey.
I think there's a 14-year-old finished on the market and a few others as well. So you do not have to stay with that cheap supermarket whiskies. Yeah. That's it. Very good.
Very nice whiskey. So it's not really a hidden gem, but it's like there's a little secret to it that you get a good whiskey when you buy the top of the line from Tullamore.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, then please feel free to give us a thumbs up and see you next time.